Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.
.5 Triple M in your way to wake up with Jodi and Matho. Jodi, we're joined by the Mayoral of Dubbo, or just the Mayor. I don't know why I'm trying to fancy it up. Matthew Dickinson, how are you today, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good to see you, Jodi and Matho.
It is good to be joined by you because I've got a couple of questions for you today. I'm going to kick it off, though. Apparently, this could be the last time we're talking together.
And it's not because Jodi's just joined you and I've said, that's it, it's all over, I'm spitting the dummy, I'm not talking to you guys anymore. It's because we've got a mayoral election on Thursday night. And this is something that you do, well, of the 128 councils across the state, 93 do it this way. You've got to have a mid-term mayoral election. And it's not quite mid-term because this council term is a bit funny because we had COVID and delayed elections, et cetera, et cetera. So this, instead of being a 4-year term, is a 2-year and 9-month term. So we're 1 year and 9 months into that term. So we're having a mayoral election tomorrow night. And, as a matter of interest, maybe a deputy mayor election. And when I say maybe, it's because councils have got to decide whether or not they want a deputy mayor. And if they do, then they vote for a deputy mayor. If they don't, then we don't have a deputy mayor.
Rightio. Politics has just included maths. So
I'm double out.
Now, tell us about, I was very excited, and good luck for the mayoral vote too, by the way, Matt.
Thank you.
New bus services happening around Dubbo.
Yeah, that's right.
The new buses.
This is a program that's being rolled out by the state government called the 16 Regional Cities Bus Program, and they're basically improving bus services in regional cities, 16 of them, surprisingly enough. And the rollout was this week. The Minister for Regional Transport and Roads, the Honourable Jenny Aitchison MP, was in town and rolling out those. And it's a pretty good idea because I think of myself, and I remember growing up in Dubbo, you got around either by mum and dad, obviously in a car, or someone in a car, or you rode a bike, or you walked. But that's when Dubbo was a bit smaller. Believe it or not, it was a few years ago that I was growing up in Dubbo, Matho. And now that it's a bit bigger, if you lived in somewhere like South Lakes or Keswick or some of the areas that are exploding over West Dubbo, it's not so easy just to walk or get on a bike anymore. So you really need to own a car or know someone with a car in Dubbo to get around. The idea of having a better bus service is that people can use public transport, which is not so common in regional areas, obviously much more common in Sydney. So it's good. It's got tap and go services, so you can get on with your watch or your phone and just tap. You'll tell the driver where you're going, and that'll tell you how much it's going to be, and you tap on. If you've got a concession card, student or a pensioner, that type of thing, you can get that concession as well. So it's actually modernising Dubbo. I'm pretty excited about that.
No, that's so good.
It does sound pretty awesome for those that take the bus. Now, Jodi and I were on Facebook, the bastion of highbrow debate, and we saw a couple of things. We just wanted you to clear up the public amenities toilet that was 3D printed and the public pool. They're saying that the public amenities toilet has cracks in it and the pool won't open the splash pad this season, which would be a bit of a travesty. We all love it. Can you clear those two things up for us?
Sure thing. So, yes, the 3D printed amenities block does have some hairline fractures in it, which is not unusual when you lay concrete. They're not structural problems. And, again, the company that printed that, Contour 3D, we've informed them of that, so they're aware of that. But, again, I mean, I've looked at them myself, and you've got to look pretty close to actually find them. If you actually painted that building, you wouldn't notice them. If you cement rendered it, you wouldn't notice them. And this is, again, part of that whole trial. It's not about to fall down. It's not about to collapse. Again, with any concrete, you will get some of those hairline fractures. So we'll keep monitoring that, I suppose, and see how that goes. But it doesn't mean the whole thing's a failure. It just means it's normal progress. And you're doing a trial. It's the first piece of 3D printed infrastructure in the nation. So you've got to expect that you're going to be looking closely at that and making sure things are right. In terms of the pool, obviously, as you already know, we've talked about it before, Belgravia has taken over the contract from council. We had an internal process. We were managing our 3 pools. We put out a tender process. Belgravia won that tender process, so they're now managing the 3 pools. And, of course, a new company coming in, they've got to get up to speed with everything, including all their staffing requirements. So it's fair to say that it's not operating at full capacity yet, but that's part of the process that they're working through to make sure they've got all the staff, make sure they can run everything. There will be a splash pad there. The canteen will be moved over to the normal canteen. Things will be running as normal, but to be fair to Belgravia, It only started at the beginning of September in terms of the pool being open, and they've got to get up to speed with all their staffing requirements. So it'll be open, it'll be fine. We'll keep monitoring it. If it doesn't work to the standards that we expect, we've got a contract in place with them. So we'll be able to exercise some of those clauses in that contract if it doesn't work the way we hope it will work.
Well, that sounds like you're on top of it.
Great, yeah.
And good luck for this week's mayoral vote. I'm sure you'll get in, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And do we need a deputy mayor? I don't know. Maybe you get a little badge that says
Why don't
DM
you
or
get
something.
a dog? You know how in most towns, like in America, they have a dog as like a deputy mayor or a mayor?
So is that like a deputy dog rather than a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, look out. I'm not going to let you two talk to each other ever again. Mayor Matthew Dickinson, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great week. We'll catch up in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Matho. Thanks, Jodi.
Thank you.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.